Hi, my name's John Wellwood from 100% Effective, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to get every single person in your organisation involved in business improvement. Imagine an organisation where every single person, every single day, is looking for ways to make that business better. Imagine it if we could have every single person in that organisation having the same goals, which are to reduce the costs in the business and to improve customer service. How much better would that make our companies and our organisations? When you think about it, how many people are actively engaged in your business in business improvement every single day? How many people are looking for problems or trying to look at things from a customer perspective to make things better? Typically, outside of green and black belts, very few people are actively engaged in business improvement. What we're trying to do is get every single person in an organisation thinking on a daily basis, how can I make this organisation better? How can I reduce costs? How can I make things quicker? How can I do things more effectively? How can I make things better for our customers and look for things that are problems from our customers' point of view, regardless of how small they are? And if we can not only get them identifying those problems but also solving those problems, the strength would be amazing in our organisation. Why then do most organisations not have all of their people engaged in making those organisations better? Typically it's because they're not motivated to do so. There's nothing in it for them, they don't see the benefit to them personally, and no one's typically asked them to do it. The leadership is not very effective and isn't driving through business improvement as a key thing to make happen. We're always busy, we've never got any time to do it, so we're so busy doing our day-to-day activity we can never take our heads up and have a look and try and identify where there are problems. And we're not normally very measured on business improvement. We don't normally go into our appraisals and be asked, tell me the 10 things that you've done to improve the business in this year. We're normally just assessed against our functional activity. The number one cause, however, in my opinion, of why people are not engaged in business improvement is they don't know what to look for in the first place. And if you don't know what to look for, the chances are you can't possibly do anything about it. So we think there are 4 fundamentals that we think every single person in an organisation should understand so that they can identify those issues that affect both the business and the customer. The first one is they must understand what waste is or non-value added activities are. They must understand that walking up and down stairs to deliver things is a waste. They must understand producing more than you need is a waste. They must understand that waiting for something is a waste, etc. All of those wastes must be understood and must be embedded in people's brains so that when they see it, they automatically want to get rid of it. It's also a really bad thing for us to have variation when we do different tasks. We need to make sure that everyone understands that every single person should do the same task in the same way. And if we can get rid of variation, we'll improve costs, we'll make more money, and we'll give a far better service to the organisation. If people don't recognise that, then the chances are that they won't do anything about it. The third fundamental is we should have standardised processes for everything we do. So again, like the variation, once we remove that variation, we should standardise it so it's the same, so that no matter who does it, they do it in the same way and we get the same outputs. The last thing we need to make sure everyone understands is that we can't have parts of our business where only 1 or 2 people understand how to do a task, because it puts the business at so much risk. If that person goes sick or leaves, we suddenly don't know how to do the task, so we've got to remove it. We need to make sure that everyone can see these 4 fundamentals. They must be able to see waste in every process that they're working on. They must be able to understand where there's variation and try and remove it. They must try and standardise it so they do it the same as everybody else, and they must look for things where there's only 1 or 2 people who can actually do an activity and remove them to make sure that doesn't happen. If we can get those 4 fundamentals put into our business, it will have a transformational effect. It will make sure that we're always looking to make things better. It will make sure that we get our customers giving them a better service. It will also make sure that our staff are actually getting what they want out of it, because their jobs are easier, they're simpler, and they get more satisfaction out of doing it. And at the same time, the quality of our activities dramatically improves. If we can get those 4 fundamentals ingrained in every single person in our business, we can therefore get them engaged in business improvement. If you get them all engaged in business improvement, suddenly you start getting good ideas to improve your business and improve customer service every single day. Imagine if you had an organisation with 100 people, and every week rather than every day, you were getting 100 ideas for improving that business. What benefit would it give you? It would make things so much better for your organisation. Now, yes, it would give us some problems because we'd have to do something with those 100 ideas. However, that's a different question altogether, what we do with them. The first thing is we must get our people engaged in identifying those issues in the first place. I was recently with an organisation where someone had come up with an idea a few months ago, and they just happened to meet one of the business improvement people, and they said, "What's happening with my idea?" And the person said, "I've no idea what you're talking about." They went away, they tried to investigate, find out what this particular guy's idea, what had happened to it. Nobody had made a note of that particular idea, therefore no one had done anything about that idea. That person then went away and spent 1 hour doing some activity which enabled that person's idea to be implemented, and it saved the company over £100,000. Now, that particular organisation had run a number of workshops over a number of months to identify ideas, and it then turned out that none of them had been recorded. So all of those ideas were wasted. So not only do we have to get people to understand the 4 fundamentals, we then need to put in place systems and procedures and processes and get management engaged to do something about it. But if you can get your people all engaged in business improvement, then the dramatic impact on the bottom line will be seen. So we need to make sure that every single person in the organisation understands those 4 fundamentals. They have to understand what is waste and why it's a bad thing. They have to understand why variation is not good in any organisation. They have to understand that standardisation is what we want and look for where we haven't got standardisation. And lastly, we need to try and make sure that we don't have any of these 1 or 2 people holding the company potentially to ransom situations. Our situation is very good. We think that everyone should be trained and understand these 4 principles. It's very straightforward to explain these concepts to people. It takes more than half an hour, and everyone can get these concepts. So if we train people in these concepts, we get everyone to understand the fundamentals, then we'll dramatically improve our business. Thanks for listening, and we'd love to hear any comments you've got about what we've had to say today.